Hi, my name is Andrew Kinney. I'm an attorney with Hoagland Law Offices, and I practice Social Security disability law. Today I want to talk a little more about cases involving borderline intellectual functioning. I have a previous video that discusses the basics and how Social Security uses definitions of disability to find impairments in that line, along with IQ scores. What I'm going to talk about right now, though, is more specific: adaptive functioning. Adaptive functioning is that despite difficulties with learning with borderline intellectual functioning, that despite that they've been able to survive and actually thrive in a work environment. That's a good thing, but that doesn't always happen. So if you are pursuing Social Security benefits based on borderline intellectual functioning, or as Social Security calls it, mental retardation, under listing 1205C, one thing that's very important for your attorney to know is, how do we have evidence of your adaptive functioning one way or the other? When I first look at cases involving mental retardation or borderline intellectual functioning, I look certainly at the valid IQ score, but when I think of adaptive functioning in particular, I think, did they work at a full-time job as an adult, if this is an adult? If they did, I ask questions about who they work for. Did they have a boss that the family knew? Did they have colleagues they worked directly with, as opposed to working on their own? What that would tell me, especially in the course of a hearing with a federal judge, is that the person either adapted and was able to do the job independently, or they had very supportive and structured environment in which they could work. That's extremely important in terms of adaptive functioning, because if an individual has shown that despite a work history, they only worked alongside family members or close friends with understanding bosses, that they may not actually have adapted properly. And so in those situations, if someone has not adapted, then that would be evidence of it. And so I would have perhaps a family member testify at the hearing that they helped get the job, they showed up at the job during lunch, they had interactions with the boss. It comes down to this: sometimes jobs that people do look like they've adapted and can function well, and that's a good thing, but sometimes the actual job, the way it's performed, is more toward what's called sheltered workshops or sheltered work. That sort of work is only done with direct supervision, and it's different than competitive work. There are other examples of where adaptive functioning come into play. For instance, if they went back to school and learned a specific skill or not. Also, there are questions about day-to-day activities, reading the paper, the functions, taking the bus. There are a lot of other examples of what adaptive functioning actually is, and it's important at hearings to get evidence of it. If you have further questions about adaptive functioning, borderline intellectual functioning in general, or just about getting benefits for Social Security disability, please feel free to call our offices at Hoagland Law Offices at 1-800-850-7867. You can also go to hoaglandlaw.com. Thank you.